Hello, my dear ones, and welcome to another episode of Inner Magic podcast. Today, I want to talk about a theme that's been coming to in conversation very often recently with women, and this is how it's truly important to live your purpose and to create from your heart. Because very often women who are already successful in their careers, they reach a point where they feel unfulfilled, as if everything makes sense on a paper, but not in how they actually feel. And then they decide to build their own soul business. And while the idea sounds simple, the truth is that most people get caught up in a noise, in these countless offers from teachers, from coaches, from mentors we see online every day, and all those tips and formulas, how to find the job you love, how to start a business that gives you financial freedom, how to scale it, how to attract clients, how to build a brand. And instead of truly getting into the process of inner work and listening to their own needs and discovering their own yet uncovered paths, they start following someone else's paths. Because yes, those offers sounds very convincing, because at the end of the day, at some point, they really did help someone reach their goals. But what's rarely mentioned is that none of those formulas are universal. What worked for someone might not work and must probably, it's not gonna work for you. Because each of us has our own story, our own context, our own energy, and our own path. One that no one has ever walked before. Different education, different environment, all of that, whether we like it or not, and consciously or unconsciously shapes who we are. And it reminds me of an example, like imagine two people living in the opposite sides of the world. And one is practicing Western spirituality, and the other one is completely immersed in Eastern tradition. And both of them, doing completely different practices, are reaching similar inner realization and getting similar results. Just two completely different routines. And each of them believes that their path is the right one. And in a way, both of them are right, but also both aren't. Because it all depends where we come from, what we've lived through, what are our values, what success actually means to us. For some people, it's a freedom. Others are seeking stability. Some long for peace and for simplicity, while others thrive on challenges, on movement, on growth. And that's why there isn't one truth, one recipe. There's only what aligns with you and what doesn't. And even within that alignment, there are also different shades and different depths. So, if you want to truly enjoy building your life and your business and to create results that reflect your unique essence and values, it's important to find your way, to live your purpose, to create from the energy that it's authentically yours, from your ideas, from your vision, from your feelings. Because as long as we follow someone else's path, we are actually building something that isn't truly ours. And that's when we start to feel tired, we feel frustrated, lost, disconnected from ourselves. And sometimes I know women build a very successful business. They get money and everything, only to realize after all that effort and time invested that they still feel empty from inside. So that's why so many people who look successful on the outside aren't truly happy on the inside. They feel lonely, they deal with stress, anxiety, or even various forms of burnout or addiction. So if you are at a stage where your work it's no longer fulfilling you, where it drains your energy or feels dull, or if you already started your business but you feel like you lost direction somewhere on the way, now is the perfect time to listen to what your heart is trying to tell you. And I know many of you might be now thinking or even saying, I just don't have time. Maybe after the holidays, after New Year, after all this busy season calms down. But honestly, there will never be a perfect time. And you already know that. There will always be something. And you know that as well. But for what truly matters, we always find time. And you know that as well, I believe. So if you need a support in organizing your time or finding clarity, that's one of my natural strengths. I have refined this skill over the years through my previous work as a manager and also through life itself, because I've always had many, many passions and I wanted to explore them all and to do many things. So in order to have time to do it all, I had to be very good in time management. So if this message resonates with you, trust that feeling and start before the end of the year. Every decision you make now, no matter how small, begins to create like a new momentum. Start now and step into the new year with a clarity and with inspiration. This now is the season of planting the seeds that will be blossoming in a spring. And I have a program that can support you on that journey. On my one-on-one coaching program, the Quantum Queen Journey, you will gain clarity on your true direction and the steps that are most aligned with you and who you are. Just send me the message and let's talk. So often, even that first conversation brings the exact clarity to women that they need at that moment. So they already know deep down what their path is. But maybe they haven't allowed themselves to admit it. Or sometimes it's just buried under a pile of shoulds and expectations from others. And that's really it. All you need to do is to have a genuine desire. A desire to shift from where you are and the willingness to follow the steps, to follow where your energy is guiding you. Because starting your own business often feels like being dropped into a new city, blindfolded, and then told, now find your way back to the hotel. And you start touching the walls, feeling around, trying to recognize sounds that seems familiar, but you actually have no idea where you are. And every now and then you find something and then you think this is it. This must be it. But as you follow this path, you realize, no, it's not. So you turn back, you spend time, energy, often even money, and end up where you actually started. Just maybe a little wiser for one another experience. And this is why it's so valuable to have someone who can help you notice these signs along the way. Someone who can help you understand their meaning and recognize when you've drifted off your course, and to guide you back to your energy and to your why. Because once you feel that, you never go back. From that moment on, every action you take has meaning, because it comes from within you. It's yours. And that's when everything inside and around you begins to align. That's all from me for today. Until the next episode, I'm sending you a warm hug and all my support on your path. Bye for now.